So I'm starting this video off a little bit differently. Obviously, it's part of the 365-day series, but I have to ask you a question. Do you think it's too late in the year to start going after what you want? Do you think you're too old, or do you think you're too young or not experienced? Let me tell you something. You could have all the credentials in the world. You could study for hours and hours and hours and do all the research that you could possibly imagine on a subject that makes you excited, a subject that you find very interesting. Except the difference between the people who study it and the people who become actually successful at it are the people who take action. The people who learn it and then immediately implement it. So there's a difference between learning something and then just putting it in your memory bank, than learning something and actually taking action on it right then and there. That's when it makes the biggest impact. Because there's been studies shown that the people who actually take immediate action on the things they learn versus the people who put it in their storage banks in their mind saying they'll come back to it later. What do you think happens? Most of the time the people who put it in their storage bank never revisit it. And the people who take immediate action on it, they might not see the result they're looking for, but they get one step closer to success. Because remember guys, success is predicated on the amount of times you fail. Because when you fail, you're one step closer to actually achieving your goal. They say to double your rate of success, you have to double your rate of failure. Double your rate of yeses by double the rate of your no's. Sorry, I'm struggling to say this. But does that make sense to you? The only way you can get the no's and the only way you can fail faster to hit the success is you must take action. You have to learn and you have to become skilled at what you do, what you absolutely love, but then you have to implement those skills. You have to implement those talents and implement the strengths that you're naturally good at. You can't just learn everything in the world and eventually think everything's just going to come together. Because it's even told when I was in the military. Let me give this for example. My teacher at the time, he was a major in the Marine Corps and he flew. He flew some sort of jet, I forgot the name of it. But he told me, you could plan out the most intricate mission where every single thing was planned out to the minute, to the dime, to the T. But when the first bullet was shot, the whole entire plan went out of control. Because you never know what's going to happen. And the second one thing goes wrong, the rest of the actions don't follow. So what you planned out might not follow through, and then everything just becomes nuts. And you have to get ready for this, guys. You're going to set goals, and then you're going to get sideswiped by different opportunities. You're going to meet people, and they get sideswiped by different events in your life. It might not necessarily serve you. That might not necessarily lead you in the direction you thought you were going to go, and all this insane things. So I'm telling you, you can plan out every single day to the T, every single second, every single minute, every single hour, day after day after day after day, and I promise you it will not go exactly the way you want. Because for one, you don't know what's going to happen. And two, when something doesn't happen that you expected, you have to adapt. You can't follow the same plan when it goes wrong because the plan is already busted. Does that make sense? Because it's going to happen and I want to get you guys prepared for it. So why is this important behind taking action? Because you can learn every plan there is known to man. You can learn every business plan. You could study every material at school and do all the courses and learn every single thing that matters. But I'm telling you, once you actually experience it in real life, it's a different thing. When you actually create the business and you start getting out there and you start trying to promote yourself, things are not going to go the way you planned. And that's 99% of the time. But you learn and you take action, and then you learn from your mistakes, you adapt, you innovate, and you overcome. Adapt, innovate, overcome, remember that. But the difference between people who become successful and people who don't are the ones who take action and they double the rate of failure. So are you going to be the person who sits back and learns every possible thing, and you're so book smart and you know it all, but you never take action and you never get the results you want? Or are you going to be the person who doesn't know everything, who shouldn't win, who people look at and they're like, he's not skilled enough, but he takes the action. He keeps putting himself out there. And you know what? He fails and he continues to fail. But one day, something goes right. It goes his way. The plan of action actually goes right, that 1% chance, and he hits it big, he becomes super successful. While you're sitting back thinking, why wasn't that me? Because you didn't step out. You didn't take the chance. You didn't take the risk that you should have took or taken or tooken, which obviously isn't right grammar, but I just thought to throw it in there. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Learn, get motivated, but also implement what you learn to get immediate results. And it might not be the results you're looking for. You might fail, but that's one step closer to success. Thank you for listening, and always live with passion.